Xabi Alonso's Bayer Leverkusen felt modern and specific. Real Madrid, on the other hand, have been successful with a somewhat less defined tactical approach. So, as Alonso joins one of the biggest teams in world football, the obvious question is, what will his football actually look like at Real Madrid? It's difficult to overstate how impressive a job Alonso did at Leverkusen. When he arrived a couple of months into the 22-23 season, they were 17th in the Bundesliga, and within 18 months they'd ended Bayern Munich's 11-year stranglehold on the German title. Their title-winning season was built on a 3-4-2-1 system that was grounded in considered build-up play, neat central progression, and potent width in the shape of wingbacks Alejandro Grimaldo and Jeremy Frimpong. And the assumption has been that he will stick rigidly to the same setup at Real Madrid, but the reality is a bit more complicated. You see, even in his short time with Leverkusen, Alonso evolved the team massively. When he arrived at the Bay Arena, his most immediate impact was to reduce the quality of chances that Leverkusen were conceding. He made them a solid, fast, counter-attacking side and steered them comfortably clear of relegation into Europa League qualification. Then, in his first full summer with Leverkusen, key signings helped Alonso transition his team into a more patient, ball-dominant side whose chance creation levels skyrocketed to such an extent that they scored 2 or more goals in each of their opening 15 games en route to the Bundesliga title. But even since then, Leverkusen have evolved again, and Alonso has utilised several different formations as he's looked to get the best out of the players available to him. This pragmatic approach could prove useful at Real Madrid. You see, coaches who've been more dogmatically system-based have struggled to find success at the Bernabeu. Carlo Ancelotti, meanwhile, became the club's longest-serving manager of the 21st century, largely because he was able to evolve. In 2021-22, he won the Champions League in a 4-3-3 setup that maximised the strengths of Karim Benzema and Vinicius Jr., before transitioning to a 4-4-2 diamond formation that allowed him to get the best out of Jude Bellingham en route to another Champions League win in 2024. And Alonso has already indicated that he intends to continue this approach during his tenure at Madrid. "Football asks you to be flexible and dynamic," he said in his first press conference as manager. "Of course, I have a clear idea of how the team wants to play, but that fixed picture of the team can change. I want the team to excite, to have energy. Whether it's with 4 or 3 defenders is something we'll see." And the reason Alonso is so comfortable with being adaptable is because what matters to him more are his team's principles. And it's here where he faces his biggest task at Real. You see, one of the things Alonso values most from his teams is control. This sometimes is earned with possessional dominance, but games can of course be controlled without the ball too. Under Alonso, Leverkusen's strong positional principles and intelligent rest defence meant that they were often well set up to squeeze the pitch and win the ball high up with aggressive counter-pressing whenever they lost possession. Their 5.1 possessions won in the attacking third was the highest average in the Bundesliga in 24-25, and although this might seem like a defensive metric, it's actually an attacking ploy too, because Alonso is looking to maximise transitional moments as a tool to score goals, or at the very least to retain territorial dominance. And this is something Real Madrid struggled with in Ancelotti's last season. Defensively, they were vulnerable. In La Liga, they conceded an average of 1.13 expected goals per 90 minutes, making them just the 4th best defence in Spain. And in the Champions League, the competition that matters more than any other in Madrid, they allowed 1.6 xG per 90, the 19th worst record in the competition. Now, of course, injuries did cause plenty of instability at the back, but the defensive vulnerability started from the front. After years of obsessive pursuit, Real were finally able to sign Kylian Mbappe on a free transfer, but before he even arrived, there were concerns about his lack of intensity in the press. The Athletic even reported that some coaching staff expected the team to concede 15 more goals over the course of the season as a result of this, but they hoped that would be outweighed by the positive impact he had when it came to scoring them. And Mbappe arguably kept his end of the bargain by becoming the first Real player ever to score 40 goals in their debut season, but in the biggest games, Madrid's lack of defensive discipline was a problem. Arsenal were able to play out from the back with ease, allowing Declan Rice and Miles Lewis-Skelly to run through the midfield at will in both legs of their Champions League quarter-final. Barcelona found similar joy as they won all 4 of the Clásicos the sides played across the course of the 24-25 season. And this is not just an Mbappe problem. Players like Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo and Bellingham have to take their share of the blame, and as a team, Madrid ranked just 7th in La Liga for high regains. So it's obviously here that Alonso faces his biggest task. At Leverkusen, he had a mouldable dressing room who were willing to buy into his principles. With more established stars and egos at Real Madrid though, securing the same buy-in might be difficult. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. The Athletic is home to some of the world's best sports journalists, including David Ornstein, Daniel Taylor, Ollie Kay, Amy Lawrence and James Horncastle. With the latest transfer news and insight on every Premier League football story that matters, theathletic.com puts you inside football. And you can try it for free now for 30 days. See the link in the description.